Hello, Marvel Legends, and welcome to another episode of Model Behavior. Today, we will once again resume chronologically cataloging, that's easy to say, every single Marvel Legend ever made. We've done 2002, so now it's 2003. We are still right in the midst of the Toy Biz years, so that means we have extra comic books and accessories and diorama pieces and some scary faces. As Limp Bizkit said, with the good comes the bad comes the good, but I'm gonna live my life like I should. So let's not beat around the bush any longer. Let's dive on in to Series 4 and see what 2003 brought for us. Before we get started, I'd like to give a big thank you to MarvelLegends.net. These guys have been providing all the pictures for this series, and I want to say a huge thank you because without them, and especially the information that they give as well, this series would not have been possible. So guys, if you love Marvel Legends and you want a comprehensive archive of every figure that has ever come out since the dawn of time, or at least like 2002, which, let's face it, that's when history began. If there was any history before Marvel Legends, I don't want to hear about it. But if you want to see a fantastic cataloging of all these figures, go check out MarvelLegends.net, especially the high-res pictures that they have of all the figures that first came out. It's absolutely been invaluable to me in making this series. And most of all, the fact that it's run by an amazing bunch of guys who just want to help a fellow creator out and just help celebrate this wonderful hobby that we have. God bless them. MarvelLegends.net. Can of Coke to you guys. Now let's start the list. So kicking off 2003, we have Series 4, which we will start with the Beast from the X-Men. Hank McCoy looking resplendent in his glorious blue fur, and he also comes packaged with a reprint of X-Men number 3. Following hot on the heels of Hank McCoy, we have Elektra Natchios, who comes with a wonderful diorama display base and a reprint of Daredevil 176. Next, we have another member of the X-Men. It is Gambit, who comes with a cloth overcoat and a fantastic set of kinetically charged playing cards. He also comes with a copy of X-Men number 4. Next up, we have the Beef. We got a huge big figure here. This is Goliath, the Hank Pym version. But he's not alone. He also comes with the Scott Lang Ant-Man and Wasp figure as well. I imagine the Wasp is Janet Van Dyne. They also have a copy of Avengers number 28. Now we take it back to the streets with the Punisher, who comes with Punisher Warzone number 1. Not only one Frank Castle do we get though, we also get a second Frank, a more fashion-conscious Frank. We have the white belt variant Frank Castle as well. And that was it for Series 4. We got 2003 off to a good start. We had some X-Men, we had some street-level guys, we had a big Avenger with some beef. That was a good way to start 2003, but Toy Biz weren't done there, because Season 5 was coming out right after that. And Series 5 kicked off with the Wesley Snipes Blade. I think we'd had all the Blade movies by this point, so the bloom was kind of off the rose with that franchise. But, oh my goodness, this Wesley Snipes Blade looked the business. Plus, he came with a copy of Tomb of Dracula number 45. And man, did you see the bike that he came with as well? That's the added value that Toy Biz was so good for. Yeah, we had ball-jointed hips. Yeah, some of the faces were a little bit horrifying. We'll get to that later. But you got so much for your money. But hey, you know what? We're living in a good era now. Hasbro are kind of killing the game. So, swings and roundabouts. Next up, we had another nice, big, chunky figure. We had the XMan Colossus, Peter Rasputin. And he came with a copy of X-Men number 129. Series 5 also gave us another member of the Fantastic Four, this time Mr. Fantastic himself, Reed Richards, who came with a morphing giant hand and a hammer hand, and of course a diorama piece as well. They all did back then. It was a golden time to be alive. Not only that, but we also got a copy of Fantastic Four number 489. Next, we had our first representative of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., who came with an incredible, ridiculous backpack with jets flying out straight out of a James Bond movie. Not only that, but he came with a reprint of Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1. Next up, hot on the heels of Nick Fury, we had the villainous Red Skull, who came again with a great diorama piece and a reprint of Captain America number 16. Next, we have Wolverine's arch nemesis, Sabretooth. So finally, you can pair up Wolverine with someone who's actually a formidable match for him. Not only that, but Victor Creed comes with a copy of X-Men number 5. And finally, rounding out Series 5, we go cosmic when we bring out Norrin Radd, the Silver Surfer, who comes complete with that feathered fowl, Howard the Duck. Not only that, but there was also a variant Silver Surfer who came without Howard. I think that's kind of odd that the variant version has less or is less appealing than the regular version. Surely that's just like a bad version. Maybe they had a manufacturing mistake and forgot to insert Howard and they were like, no, it's totally a variant. Not only did we have the single figures in 2003, but we also had our box sets and oh boy did we get some box sets. First of all, we had the Urban Legends box set, which was a really cool street-level sort of set. It had the Punisher, Daredevil, Elektra, and Spider-Man. And finally, to round out 2003, we had the X-Men box set, and whew, let's take a look at this. Initially, everything checks out. We have Gambit, we have Wolverine without the mask, we got Magneto there, we have Beast with a lovely cloth lab coat as well, and then we got Rogue, and she is sporting a kisser that only her mother could love. This figure has kind of gone down in infamy as one of the more harrowing Toy Biz face sculpts. Whenever someone says, yeah, Toy Biz came with a lot of accessories, but they didn't always nail the faces. This is what they're talking about. That might be why the Juggernaut Wave Rogue that came out a couple of years ago was in such high demand. People were like, I gotta get this old Rogue off my shelf. And that, folks, concludes the 2003 rundown of every single Marvel Legend released. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and thanks again to MarvelLegends.net for providing all the wonderful photography to really make this series worth watching. Otherwise, you're just looking at me babbling on, and no one wants that. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
There's a new street fighter on your